2.03 Flipped Lesson Video. Genius in Florence. This goes along with Student Guide pages 34 to 37. You can fill them out as you're moving along in this lesson. Lesson Introduction, Genius in Florence. Florence wasn't the biggest or most powerful city-state, but that didn't keep its people from succeeding in business. Some families turned gold into the finest jewelry in the world. Others made the best leather goods available. Still others wove beautiful wool that nobles all over Europe and beyond were eager to buy. One family, the Medicis, made a fortune in textiles and then became bankers. Before long, they had more money and power than any other family in Italy. Then, without lifting a paintbrush or touching a hammer and chisel, without writing a single book or designing even the smallest building, they made Florence a center of classical learning and home to magnificent Renaissance art. Lesson Objectives. When you finish this lesson, you should be able to identify Florence as the birthplace of the Renaissance, describe the source of Florence's wealth and power as trade in luxury goods, explain how Renaissance art differed from medieval art, give an example of the controversy created by humanism and other Renaissance ideas, identify the major Florentine artists including Donatello, Brunelleschi, Masaccio, Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, and their achievements. Identify the Medicis as the most powerful family in Florence, owners of the most powerful banks in Europe, and patrons of the arts and learning. Florence. Florence is located on the Arno River, and the Renaissance may have begun in Florence because its people were resourceful and ambitious. Florins are Florentine coins and were the dominant gold trading coin used during the early Renaissance period. City Council did many things to improve the city. They hired architects to build magnificent offices and churches. They also paid sculptors to fill the city's public squares and guild halls with statues, along with commissioning artists to create stunning paintings and frescoes. This is where you'll pause the video. You'll use Student Guide page 36 to fill in the chart. When you are finished, you can go ahead and start the video again. Girolamo Savonarola. Girolamo Savonarola was a priest who called himself a prophet and opposed many Renaissance ideas. Why did Savonarola oppose many Renaissance ideas? He believed that the people of Florence were distracted from God by their wealth and many possessions. He warned Florentines that they should focus on God and their souls. He urged Florentines to do away with their vanities. Some Florentines agreed with Savonarola and drove the Medicis from the city and ransacked the Medici palace, stealing and destroying all the priceless art they could find. They believed the Medicis were the source of some of these vanities. Some threw their worldly possessions onto a bonfire. Some of the vanities of the Florentines that Savonarola criticized were cosmetics, playing cards, dice, carnival masks, paintings of women, books of poetry, and musical instruments. Pope Alexander VI ordered Florentine leaders to silence the popular preacher. They arrested Savonarola and then hung and burned him in the main public square. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was an Italian painter, draftsman, sculptor, architect, and engineer whose genius, perhaps more than that of any other figure, epitomized the Renaissance humanist ideal. His Last Supper and Mona Lisa are among the most widely popular and influential paintings of the Renaissance. His notebooks reveal a spirit of scientific inquiry and a mechanical inventiveness that were centuries ahead of their time. And again, you will pause the video. You can go ahead and turn to page 30. Actually, this is 37. I have 36 up here. I'm sorry about that. It should be 37. I'll change that very quickly. There we go. It should be page 37. And you'll go ahead and fill in your chart on page 37. You may also want to use your Human Odyssey book, the reading pages 61 to 65, to help you fill in this chart. And when you finish, you can start the video again. And here we are at the end. Where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge.